Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Chess here with a video of the day, and today I will show you a game between Indian Grandmaster Vidit against Jeoffry Xiong from United States. Jeoffry Xiong has been a major surprise in the last World Cup, where he reached semi-final and rose to Rajabov. He's very young still, and Vidit is a bit older. Actually, India has a lot of grandmasters, strong grandmasters, but unfortunately, they overall in super tournaments don't do that good. Hare Krishna was leading, well, except for Anand, obviously, but Anand is kind of semi-retired right now. And this generation of players who reached 2700 has been obviously they're very strong, but they need some results, I think. And this World Cup is a good opportunity, especially for Vidit, I guess. Now he won the game with black, and he could reach a semi-final in this kind of event. That would be good for Indian chess, obviously. Okay, so let's see the game. D4. I'm not very accustomed with Jeoffry's repertoire, but I assume he plays D4 a lot. Knight F3, D5. This is very standard. Now it can turn into any opening. And Bishop F4, so London system. I don't think that it's bad opening for playing white. Just it's very strong, but not recommended, I think, for amateur players, because well, you have to learn a little bit more than just this move and some sort of system development. C5, immediately creating crisis, and I like this. I like this idea with knight c6 and bishop g4, like Kramnik plays, queen b6, so immediately black takes over the initiative. E3, e6, well, normal move, knight d2 and queen b6. So it's important to underline that after black played this early bishop f4, this b2 is not defended, and when black counterattacks, sometimes white creates some weaknesses, like b3 for instance, or rook b1. Bishop d6 takes and takes. I'm not a big fan of this taking. Obviously there is some calculation behind it. Just I prefer to have a center pawn, because just black has more space now. Bishop d3, knight d7, and b4. This is probably Jeoffry's home preparation. With this rook on b1, he tries to open up the game and claim that he is better developed, because as we see now, this rook considered to be developed, and black has not developed its light square bishop yet. So just playing actively is considered to be correct in this kind of positions. Exchange and c4. So white is trying to undermine this queen here, whether to threat it with c5, or if pawn takes, then to capture with the knight. b6, protecting the c5 square, takes with the queen. Queen e2. So the position is equal, I think, but it's like London system, it's always equal, and in many instances white somehow tries to outplay black later in the game. And also I'd say that maybe white is not so effort consuming when they're playing London system. They just want to develop their pieces, and then black always has to look for counterplay, think more, spend more energy, and when the game goes on, then white's able to, you know, be more prepared for a later stage of the game. Bishop b7, I like this. Not in many London systems we see such beautiful bishop on b7, attacking the g2 square. e4, again, not a big fan of this move. Engine suggests something like knight c4. I would play, of course, with the rook, something like rook d1. Just e4 is really the move, very responsible move, yeah, that you have to, you know, create an attack. Probably Jeoffry was thinking to play e5, and there is a lot of tactics with having pawn on e5, this knight has to move, and this bishop attacks the h7. But it's all in theory, not in practice. Queen h5. So queen here cements the black's position and protects the h7. And again, as we see, black's position is more healthy. I'm trying to explain how black won. When you know the result, of course, it's easier, you know, to say that because of this, because of that. Rook d8. You want to place your rooks in the center. d1 and knight f8. Good move. These two knights not in good shape when they are together. You want to place your knight on g6 and potentially threaten knight f4. And if black plays like this, then black will be better. h3, knight g6, queen e3. So don't see a big plan for white, and engine still says that white is totally okay, but I think that generally black is better. Already they can the setup of pieces is more natural. Bishop a6, a little bit pinning this knight. Of course, it cannot. It's not a big threat, but it's kind of more active position. Knight d6 takes, and bishop takes. So now they exchange the knight for the bishop, and as you know the rule that knight and queen is better than bishop and queen. So obviously one knight will be exchanged at some point, and black can have this advantage as well. Knight d5, and he just captures everything. So the position is again about equal. I like black in this position, especially after this queen e5. It's not recommended to exchange the queens, because then bishop and rook create more powerful pair of pieces. So I would, an engine considers queen d4 the best move, just proposing the exchange of queens, but Jeoffry decides to keep the queens on board. Not sure about this move. h6, loft is very needed in this position. b1, a4, king f8. Again, it's the second best move by engine. Probably there is no threats by white, and obviously Vidit was expecting exchange of queens at some point, and then your king here is very useful. a5. Jeoffry is not thinking of exchanging. Takes, knight e8. Okay, a6, queen c7. Again, Jeoffry doesn't want to exchange queens. He always determined to, play for mate. And knight c7. Well, not sure about this move. Engine doesn't like it too much, but again, position remains equal. Rook d7, and king g8 back. e5. Now white manages to open up the bishop, but still in this position it's a bit empty. You don't want to play rook a8. his idea is to play bishop to b7 and create this cooperation between pawn and this bishop. Rook b4, queen d1, attacking the d8, knight to b5, question mark. So engine suggests that g6 is best. Yeah, kind of Jeoffry outplayed his opponent. I think that this h7 is it's a loft, but it's not a loft to the end, yeah, because it's light square, and at some point white will be able to give check, and then after g6, then a lot of weak squares around the king, which is not very good. And b5, rook b7. Engine suggested queen d3 was better, creating this threat. Rook d8 with winning the queen. Right, rook b7. He wanted to play queen d8 or queen d7 probably, attacking the f7. Knight d4, bishop e4, g6 forced because mate is not mate, but kind of a lot of tactics, considering that there is a back rank issue. Queen d8, and in this position Vidit took the bishop. He was just on 1 minute. I'm sorry, Jeoffry took the pawn, because he calculated that his queen will attack the pawn, and he has a lot of threats, and his king side is defended with all these 3 pawns. So, and he took with the queen. The engine suggests that after rook b8, king f7 here, so there could be this kind of repetition. Black is better, but his engine considers that king cannot approach this rook here because becomes very vulnerable. So Jeoffry took this pawn on h6, and Vidit played just excellently. He attacked fiercely. f4. If he plays g3, then knight f3, and black wins in a couple of moves. So f4, knight f3, sacrificing the knight. If takes, then it's mate in 3. Rook g1 here, and queen f2 probably, yeah, and it's mate, yeah, because this square is protected. So knight f3 he played, king g1, check, knight e5. It's very easy for these guys to calculate all of this. And knight f7, giving fork to king and queen, forcing takes, check, and it doesn't look like white can give a perpet, because these pieces are actually actively helping this king, and he will escape at some point. Check, takes, and in this position Jeoffry resigned because he has no other opportunities to attack the king. Alright, good win by Indian Grandmaster, and let's see what happens next.